welcome to my review of the JK Mate for the 2011 to 2018 Jeep Wrangler JK. The packaging was very nice and well protected the product and was very well defined on how to set it up and install it. This is the dash that will be installed inside of the vehicle, along with the cords that will be used to transition from the old analog gauge cluster to the new digital one. Here you can see the 4 gauges that are used through the normal process, and here's where you're going to see the new dash setting inside where the old one was. Now I wanted to show you how to take the dash out and what was involved in getting into it, but I didn't want to slow down and show you the exact one-for-one timing, so I decided to speed it up here. It was pretty easy to grab the tools to take the dash out. There were 4 screws that actually held the dash in and a few that held in the dash itself. And we're able to pull those out. And right now what I'm doing is unplugging the cables from the original dash. And then I'm going to get ready to set up the new digital dash. Now I'm going to have to take the data transfer cable and connect it from the new digital dash over to the existing analog dash. This process is pretty easy with the included cable that they give you. You turn the key on and it automatically syncs up, and that's it. Now you're able to start looking at the dash. So at this point, I've decided to go ahead and reinstall the dash since everything is working so that I can really truly start to get a feel for how it looks and what we're going to do with it. All right, so we're going to talk about a few things that we've got here. We've got the nice fuel gauge that comes right in here, and what I have noticed is that when it gets down into the E, you see that the E is kind of red here, but the actual digits will turn bright red when it gets down in there. It makes it really nice. You can see the range right in here, but this is a feature is where you can see all of these items right in here. So we're looking at the oil pressure, temp, fuel, coolant, trans, and the battery. And then you look over here and you can kind of see some of the other things in here. Now, what you can do is you can back this up a bit and press the up and the down buttons, and I'm going to press down and it goes through here, and now you have your instant and your average MPG, which I reset every time we start working. Then your tripometer, which tells you your economy and your distance, trip B, your tire pressure on everything, tire angle. Now this one's really nice because when you're steering, you can actually see the degree that you're turning. And we're going to come back to this one here in just a second here, because this actually clicks in when you put the vehicle in reverse. Anyway, we'll go back down to your fuel economy, range, and then back into your dish or into your gauges. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push into reverse, and you're going to watch this. I'm going to see if we can zoom the wind back here. And as we go into reverse, you'll see the tire kick in. Now you can see what the angle is of your steering wheel or of your wheels. And then it goes back. Now next thing that we're going to do is we're going to back up, and we're going to use this button right here, and we're going to change the mode. And these are really kind of cool, but I find when I'm driving off-road, they're really not that helpful. But we can go from road. I'm going to go down one and change it to rock, and then hit the menu button to select it. Just really nice. It brings up some more of the temperature or the gauges that you have in here, and then you got your tilt and your pitch. You got your tire angle right down here, so as you turn the wheel, you can see it turning, which is right in here. And you got your trip. Now, the thing that really gets us too is the trip right there, which it says 0.0. That trip is reset every time you start the vehicle. It's not your trip A, it's not your trip B. It's the trip for this time the engine's running, so you get an idea of what's going on. And then you got your speed, you've got your park, and if you take a watch right in here, we're going to go back into reverse, neutral, drive, and then you got into your manuals that you can shift into. And we'll switch it back down into the park, and then we're going to go back up and we're going to hit the main button here to change the mode into snow. pretty pictures. Again, some more of the updates on here, and you can actually see over here where your shifter is into 4 neutral or 4 low. Go back down into mud. Again, really kind of, it's a neat gadget. I don't use these, haven't found much use for them. Here's one for sand. Again, has your compass right over here as well, pitch and your roll as well. So what I find that I enjoy the most is I just swap it back into road, and then I have these gauges here. Now, one of the other things that we have here is the off-road mode. So I'll come down here and I'm going to tell it we're going to go to the right once, and now it brings it up off-road mode. And it's really kind of cool because it tells you the tire pressures for each of the items and each of the tires there, plus you've got your compass right up here, your gauges, your park and your shift. All right, so what we're going to show here is right now you're seeing that there's no power going to anything, only we've got your brakes on, and we're in 2-wheel drive, which you can see right up in here. As we start to drive, you're going to see that the power starts showing with the little flashing blue on here. And if I shift this into 4 high, you'll see now it's showing up here at the top as well. Let me get up here into the shade a little bit so it's a little bit easier to see. And then if I shift back down into 2, you'll see it's down just on the back side. Now here's what's really, really cool. So I'm shifting into the 4 high, confirmed up here in with the blue. Once I put the vehicle in neutral, over and drop down into 4 low, put it into drive, and we start driving, you're going to see it's red. So now you have a nice red visual that you're in 4 low, as well as your indicator right up over here on this side of the dash. More in here, it really is kind of nice. I'm not sure if it's something that I've really used much off-road. Again, I've just hit the back button here and gone, and this is a screen that I use when I'm off-road most. Now the other thing here too is when you're in the off-road mode, you see that these 2 gauges right here for the battery and the oil pressure, if you hit the down button, you now get the pitch and the roll. Now, one of the things that I've noticed with the pitch and the roll is it bounces an awful lot when you're off-road. And yes, I'm setting probably about a 7-degree pitch right now in my driveway. It comes up. It seems to be really, really sensitive. So to get a good reading on it, you have to kind of stop and let it bounce out. Once it's solid, then you can work with it without too much of an issue. And you can just kind of hit this button and swap it back and forth. And the next thing they've got, which is if you look up here, we can go into the settings. And now we have things that we can set up on here. Now, overspeed's really not a big deal on the Jeep, but it is kind of neat because if you click on the OK button, I have mine set to 78. So as soon as it hits 78 mile an hour while I'm driving, the thing will ding at you and say, hey, you've gone over speed. It just dings twice and shuts down. It's a nice little feature. But we're going to hit the little back button to go back, go down into the dash settings, click the OK button. And now you can see you can change the dash style. So right now it's silver, it was gold, black, white, back to silver. I kind of like the silver one. And here you can change the brightness. And then you go to a -6, which is what I have for my brightness at night. And then you can change it to whatever brightness you want for the day. So during the day, I have it set to a 6, which is the highest level. And so you're just pressing the buttons here to get it set in. And then we have the brightness at night, same setups. Now what's really cool is it will dim even more a little bit when you do your lights adjustment here. It's hard to see during the day. And of course we set everything up into English. Click the back button. Now you can go down into car information. Now you can set it up for a 2-door or a 4-door. And where that really comes into play is I'm going to show you real quick is when the door is open. It shows you as a 2-door. I close the door. If I change it to a 4-door, it now shows a 4-door vehicle. So that's kind of a neat little feature. And then haven't figured out what this actually does for us versus the gas versus the transmission. And here's the tire size. I think this might have something to do with the speedometer, but I haven't been able to track that down yet. And we'll click back. And now you can go into car settings. Car settings are fun because then you have a whole lot of different things that you can set up in here. So you have your door unlocking mode, so you can turn it on and off when you open the driver's door. You can come down to the key unlocking mode, and you can set it whatever setting you want here. Turn light flash is on, so it means when you tap it, it'll come on 3 times. Headlight delay, turn on and off. I have mine set to 30 seconds, so when I shut the vehicle off at night, I still get 30 seconds of headlights to help me get around where I need to go. Shutdown delay, that's when is it going to shut down on the dash in here. I've got mine set to 45 seconds. I'm not sure what the benefit is there. But then you have your headlight delay time. I don't really have a delay time on there. Hill start assist, have that on. Use that more often than I thought. And that's it. So one of the big things that I've hear back, and I'm going to go back, hit the back button here, to go back to the settings, to the off-road, and then back to my normal mode that I'm driving in. One of the things I've seen a lot is right in here, there's usually a clock. That clock has never run correctly. It always seems to reset at midnight, or it doesn't keep the proper time. So I actually worked with the manufacturer and asked them to just turn the clock off. I have a clock in my radio. I have a clock in my mirror. I didn't need a third clock. With my OCD, I didn't want to have it in here. And of course, now you can see your temperature over here. You can see your temperature as well on there. And one thing I did notice is that the fuel light and the temperature light, they don't dim. They're staying at that brightness no matter what. But it does not seem to be a problem at night because everything else dims down. And if you back this away, and it's kind of hard to do, so let me see if I can simulate it with, can't do it here with a camera, but this is about what I see on the left-hand side when I'm driving. This is what I see on the right-hand side. So it actually gets blocked out by the steering wheel because the camera is right here up. You can see both of them at the same time. So, quick review of the JK Mate is, I think it's a success. I would get it again anytime. I think it actually updates the interior of the Jeep without too much of an issue, and it really makes it look a lot nicer. Just the fact that you can see all the gauges in one shot without having to flip through lots of different menu items on the old analog mode, I would say this is a keeper. This is my opinion. Thank you very much for watching Off-Roading 101, and click the like and subscribe, and I'll see you real soon.